Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It's currently 1:32 a.m. and I couldn't really fall asleep, so here I am sitting at my desk studying, trying to catch up on some work. And I have a lot to update for you guys. I guess I'll start with Thursday. So right now it's Saturday, 1 a.m. But Thursday, it was a pretty insightful day because for my French class we walked over to a senior center. Well, they were meeting up at a church, and basically there was a nurse, and she was doing a presentation on dementia to the seniors. But in that presentation, the nurse was more so presenting about dementia and being a caretaker rather than like from the point of view of a nurse. And it was insightful and empowering because, you know, at first she started with like the definitions, the medical stuff, you know, of dementia, which is a manifestation of Alzheimer's. Actually, dementia in itself is not like a disease, if I translating correctly. But basically, it was like, you know, a little bit boring. It was a little at the beginning, just like, you know, talking about the cortexes, blah blah blah. But then when she really dived into being a caretaker, and then, you know, she was using her mother as the example, and she was showing us pictures, you know, of the early signs, stages, and the, I forget the correct terminology, but then the middle stage, and then like the end stage too. And it's just, I kind of teared up a little bit because like you read all these like fancy medical terms and then all these facts, but then finally you kind of distance yourself, you know. But then when you actually have a person, like a person with a family, a person with a name, with a career, you know, who has this whole life, and then they're suddenly affected by this, and then, you know, all these symptoms coming on, and then in itself it's causing stress to the family who has to take care of this loved one as well. And, you know, it was just a good reminder that, you know, I'm studying right now, learning about all these body parts and like all these terms, but at the end of the day, I'm going to be, you know, serving someone. I'm going to be trying to help a person, an actual person with feelings, with emotions, who will sense pain, who will cry, who will feel uncomfortable. And I'm really grateful for that presentation. And yeah, it was just a good reminder as I study. And then what else do I have to add? Oh, and then afterwards, for dinner, I went to the dining hall and met up with some friends. And then, you know, we studied and hung out, and then until midnight we surprised a friend. It was her birthday, so we pitched in. We got her like this Lululemon crossbody bag, and then her boyfriend got her this Dairy Queen cake, and so we were sharing slices. And then, you know, while we were cutting it up, some RAs, so resident assistants, they're like the student staff members who keep watch over the dormitories up till like a certain point. But they came in and they're like, and we're like, oh, you want some slices too? So we offered them slices, and it was just a good time. We laughed a lot, we rolled around the couches. It was a good time, and I'm really grateful for my friends. And then what else to update on you guys? I guess I can talk about today. I don't know, I feel poopy sometimes. I feel like really like on top of things, but then sometimes I feel like life is, you know, I feel burnt out. I feel like everything's not going as I want it to. I feel worthless. Like, I don't know, I feel like I don't amount to anything. And I don't know, it's this bad habit of me where I spiral into this little hole, and then I come back out and I'm like feeling great, but then sometimes I fall back in. So what's really helpful, or what's really helping me like ground myself and my mindset, is reading this book, The Mountain Is You. I've like taken lots of notes already. But yeah, it talks about self-sabotage, which is something I'm really guilty of. And then it also like talks about specific examples, like maybe dealing with repressed emotions, like fearing failure, like different kinds of subtopics that all fall under self-sabotage. And I feel like, you know, there's so much stuff that speaks to me. Like, for example, there's one part where it talks about, you know, it's okay to feel sad that, you know, the plan you originally made for your life, or sorry, your original life plans are not like happening as you imagined it to be. And, you know, you're allowed to feel disappointed, which is exactly my situation right now. I wouldn't say predicament, it's my situation right now. And it's just, you know, learning to come and accept that, and instead making choices that reflect on your current person, on who you currently are, rather than who you wanted to be in your past, when you were younger, when you didn't know as much. So I found that really insightful again. And then I do want to share this one thing that it's been on my mind. It's making me like, I don't know, each time I think about it, I feel like I'm beating myself up over it, but I didn't do that well on my anatomy midterm, my third anatomy midterm. I knew like after I exited that midterm, like it was definitely not one of my strongest ones. And, you know, all my nursing friends were like huddled outside the door waiting for like whoever came out next, and we would just like discuss the answers, and we all felt really, really crappy. So I guess there's some solace in that, but like in general, oh my god, I got like 62%, so at least I didn't fail. But like, I'm used to getting like 80% or so percent, and I was, you know, I don't know, I'm just disappointed. You know, I could have studied more. I definitely did not study more. I was slacking, procrastinating. I was burnt out, man. I was really burnt out, and I still am, honestly, as finals are approaching. And then yeah, and then I keep thinking back, like I made some stupid mistakes. Like I knew the answer, but I don't know, I just didn't put it in, or like, yeah, I hesitated, and I don't know why I just didn't put it in. Like there's no like, I left it blank rather than putting something in. So that's what really like is like making me like, you know, reflect a lot. And then it's also making me worried, because then I kind of did that a little bit in my physiology midterm, but I don't know that grade yet. And honestly, I'm too scared to check that grade. I know like I didn't fail. Like I know I'm okay, because for some of our classes in nursing, you have to have a minimum grade in order to continue into the program. So continue on to second year. So I'm definitely like okay on that aspect, but like, is it like the best grades I can achieve? No. So there's some disappointment in that. But then, you know, with reading The Mountain Is You, I keep forgetting the name, it's teaching us that, you know, to use these moments of disappointment, of feeling low, you know, to like, to give us like how would I say it? It's like just to give us a wake-up call. Yeah, a wake-up call. Like, hey, you know, you gotta change some ways, figure some new methods to achieve what you want to do. So there's definitely that. And yeah, so I got my studying stuff here. I'm just trying to finish my anatomy. Yeah, I got so much to do. Like I have this whole, I'm covering him. I have all these like to do, and it's so much. And I'm starting, like lately I've been feeling like my stress stomach aches. Like I have these really bad ones back in my stressful predicament situation, blah blah blah, at the beginning of the year, you know, with graduating early, like I mentioned in my last video. And it's not as bad as right now, but like it's still there faintly sometimes, and like, ooh, it hurts my stomach to always be like clamped out. So yeah, I'm gonna work on some like de-stressing methods, which will probably include reading, ranting, going to the gym. Yeah, I was thinking also, like off topic, I was like looking through this is kind of my journal. It's like all like 4-in-1. Like I use it as my agenda journal, just like scrapbook, everything, to-do list. And then I also have this other journal that's from like grade 8 that I started in grade 8. So I was thinking like maybe I should do a little video where I just look through my journals and just read and then see how far I've come, because I think that's very important, to recognize that you're not the same person as you were 5 years ago, and to acknowledge things that you thought you wouldn't overcome and yet you did, you know. Again, I'm taking these lessons from The Mountain Is You. Why do I keep forgetting the title? Oh my goodness. But yeah, I think that's very important to, you know, just recognize your own efforts and just look back on your new wisdom as you grow old. And you know, life is a constant, period. You're always changing, you're always adapting, and you're never really the same person. So, well, if you expose yourself, more or less. So yeah, there's that. And then while we're at it, I've been waiting because I didn't want to like open them until I could like do a little video. But the other day I went grocery shopping with my friend, and then at the end we went to the toy section and we looked at Hot Wheels, because we both really like cars. She's into F1, Formula 1, and she knows all the stuff. I'm more of a newbie. I was never really interested in cars until I got my license. So, but lately, ever since I watched the anime Initial D, I was like, holy crap, this is so cool. So I'm really into JDMs. But do I know the gear stuff? Not really, but I'm more so just to, you know, watch fun drifting videos. I'm more on the casual side. So yeah, that's me, and I'll flip the camera so then we can unbox these together. Okay, I think that's it for everything for today's video. Thank you for stopping by, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.